You are listening to Practical and Woo by Mindset and Manifest. My name is Eden, and I invite you to embark on a journey with me to explore the practical and spiritual edges of the unknown for the purpose of allowing you to embody and empower yourself uniquely as you are and to intentionally create and live a life of freedom and fulfillment. Each week, I am going to discuss topics such as energetics, reality creation, manifestation, astrology, tarot, and more to help empower you to live beyond perceived limitations and to practically design your life so it feels like absolute magic every step of the way. Let's dive in. Well, hello, brilliant soul. Lately, I've been processing deeply around all of the beautiful and also often conflicting opinions that exist out there for absolutely everything. Diet, exercise, how to love, how to find happiness, how to pursue your purpose, how to be your best self. And if you're feeling lost in this, you will be quick to find a treasure trove of methodologies and ways to do it. And then many, if not most, contradictory to the one that came before. And if you're not careful or aware of the contradiction, you may be quick to find yourself in a double bind. For me, peeling back the layers on this phenomenon has felt important. And finally, I had a glimpse of an idea that I believe may be the way through. And don't you worry, I'm not about to give you a how-to that contradicts, but instead a bird's eye view that will perhaps help you find the way to your own happiness, purpose, pleasure, and life in a way that feels absolutely like you. The concept we're going to base this episode on is the idea that it's not about right or wrong. It's about resonance. We are taught from such a young age to categorize our lives like filing cabinets. The good choices over here, and then the bad choices over there. The wins go in one folder, the failures go in another. The right people, the wrong people, the in-group, the out-group. It's a world painted in black and white. And we can see this even more clearly with the advent of social media and cancel culture. But here's the truth. Life doesn't work in black and white. Life is in vibrant, vivid color. It works in texture and in vibration. And when you start navigating your life by resonance instead of by rightness or wrongness, you open yourself up to more freedom, more alignment, and more self-trust than you ever knew was possible. Right and wrong is often about conformity, not truth. Right and wrong are two categories usually defined by culture, tradition, or the rules of the group that you're in, not by the quiet inner knowing of your own soul. Think about this more critically for a moment. In one culture, speaking your mind might be considered rude, and in another culture, it might be considered admirable honesty. In one family, following your dreams might be irresponsible, but in another, it could be called bravery. Right and wrong are movable goalposts, and yet we use them as if they're fixed and universal laws. When you navigate only by right and wrong, you're essentially outsourcing your compass. You're letting someone else tell you the direction to happiness, and that's threatening to a desire to live a life that actually belongs to you. Because here's the catch, you can do the right thing and still feel completely out of alignment. And you can do the wrong thing and feel deeply, powerfully at peace with yourself. That's because what's right for someone else might be all wrong for you. So what do I mean when I say resonance? Resonance is the energy in your body that says, not from fear, not from pressure, but from truth. A knowing comes upon you that says, this is mine, or this is my way. It's a subtle yet undeniable vibration that happens when your choices are aligned with your soul's truest frequency. And resonance isn't always logical. It won't always tick the right boxes on paper. Sometimes resonance will make you walk away from the safe thing, the expected thing, the thing everyone is clapping for, because deep down your soul knows that, and you know that it's not meant for you. Other times, resonance will have you take a leap into something that makes no sense to the outside world, but feels more like home than anything else you've ever known. Resonance is about fit. not a moral fit, not a social fit, an energetic fit. It's how the note of your being harmonizes with the note of the choice that is in front of you. And the thing about harmony is that you can't fake it or force it or think your way into it. You either feel it or you don't. So when you move from right or wrong to resonance, you change the entire way you navigate your life. Instead of asking, will people approve? Will I be seen as good? Will I avoid being judged? You start asking things like, does this feel right for me? Does my energy expand when I think about this? Do I feel at home here in this choice? This doesn't mean that we're throwing away morality or ethics, because those tenets matter deeply. We're all about showing up as our best selves here. But it does mean that you stop mistaking conformity for integrity. You can have all of the integrity and still make choices that other people won't understand. And you can live with honor and still disappoint someone's expectations. When you live by resonance, you reclaim the right to be the author of your life, not just the editor of someone else's script. Here's the thing though, choosing resonance takes real undeniable courage, because the moment you step out of right versus wrong, you also step out of the comfort of rules. Rules give a false sense of safety. They give us the illusion that if we just follow the formula, then everything will turn out okay. But life isn't a formula. It's a living, breathing co-creation between you and your life, you and the world, you and the universe. Resonance demands that you take radical self-responsibility, which means that you can't blame a rule book for your choice or hide behind the sentiment because it was the right thing to do. You stand in the truth that you chose what felt alive and aligned for you in that moment, knowing that it might change in the next, and you own all of it. That's terrifying to so many people, and it's exactly why it's so powerful. So signs you might be navigating from right and wrong include making choices to avoid criticism instead of advocating for your truth, constantly needing validation before you take action, overriding your body's cues because the rule says something different, something like you're lazy if you take naps, or you're unproductive if you take breaks, or you're living in a way that makes sense to everyone else but you. And you know you're moving towards resonance when you feel a subtle inner click when you make a choice. You no longer need everyone to agree with you and can stand confidently in the center of your own decisions. Your body relaxes into the choice even when it's scary. You feel like you're in integrity with yourself and not just with the external expectations. So let's talk about where this gets particularly interesting: in your relationships. In the right-wrong paradigm, people are constantly judging each other based on shared rules. And if you act outside the group's definition of right, you risk being cast as the villain. But when you live from resonance, you stop asking, is this right or wrong? And start asking, does this resonate? This is a massive shift. Resonance will tell you the truth faster than any checklist ever will. This idea applies to everything in your life. Right and wrong thinking says, this is a stable choice. This is the path people respect. This is what makes sense. Whereas resonance says, this is the work that lights me up. This is the expression that feels like breathing to me. This is the path that may feel scary at times, but also makes me feel most alive. You can build an entire career on the right path and still wake up feeling hollow every morning. You can also take a leap into something that looks risky from the outside and feel more secure than you've ever been, because you're anchored in your own truth and in yourself. So how do we start living in resonance? We start by slowing way down before making decisions, noticing if the advice we're being given feels intriguing or expansive. Are you expanding or contracting? And next, you can actually ask some questions rooted from seeking resonance. You can ask yourself, does this choice move me, feel alive for me? Does it feel right for me, even if I don't fully understand it? Am I moving from a place of love and courage, or am I moving from fear and avoidance? Does this choice feel like truth, or like performance. Next, notice where you fall into the habit of saying should. And every time you say I should, pause and ask yourself, is this actually mine to pursue, or is it based on someone else's rule I have adopted? Take it one step further and consider, is this rule a fit for me? And the part of this that takes the most courage is building a capacity to be willing to disappoint people who are expecting you to live by a certain framework of rules, or people who are attached to their own rules, even rules they've been taught to live by but don't actually resonate with. We cannot please everyone, and when we try, we splinter ourselves in different directions, obliterating who we are and who we are meant to be. So to live as our most authentic and empowered selves, building a life of emotional and spiritual mastery, creating our dream lives in kind, we must learn how to choose our own resonance. And the funny thing is that when you allow yourself to live in resonance, you do more than change how you relate to and feel about yourself. You also change the energetic field around you. People feel this. They sense the congruence in you and become drawn to you. Your relationships become clearer, your work becomes more aligned, your days feel more like yours. And maybe the most beautiful part, you give other people silent permission to do the same. So here's my invitation for you today. Stop asking yourself, am I doing the right thing? And start asking yourself, does this resonate? Stop letting the world's moving goalposts tell you how to live, and start listening to the steady, unshakable frequency of your own soul. Because at the end of your life, it won't matter if you ticked every right box, but it will most definitely matter that you lived in tune with the truth of who you are. Until next time.